Rainollon here. Today is another build showcase and it's the Tenet Spirex. So let us immediately start. Starting with the mods. The mods I'm going to show you today, there are going to be two builds. So let's start with the first build. So the first build, the mods I'm using: Galvanized Shot, Stash Chance, Direct Damage per Stash on Target, Prime Target Cracker, Critical Damage, Galvanized Crosshair, Critical Chance while aiming, Creeping Bullseye, a lot of critical chance, lowers your fire rate, it's not that big of a deal. Magnetic Might, which gives you magnetic damage and critical damage. Pistol Pestilence, Toxin, Stash Chance, Frostbite, Cold and Stash Chance, Cold and Toxin gives you viral. And Pistol Security, which gives you a lot of weak point damage and critical chance, but multi-shot cannot be modified. So yeah, these are the mods I'm using. For the Exos Weapon Adapter Slot mods, I highly recommend going for the Targeting Subsystem, which gives you on hit 3% accuracy when aiming for 9 seconds, which is quite good for this weapon. For the Arcane, Secondary Deadhead, for me personally, is by far the best in slot. Easy access to 360 increased damage, Headshot Multiplier, and Weapon Recall. All these stats are really good for this weapon. For the passive, landing a headshot increases the reload speed by plus 25% for 4 seconds, stacks up 2 times, so that's 50%, and it's quite a solid passive. So it is a Tenet weapon, so you have to kill your Tenet sister, and the element I've chosen is Heat. Heat is quite good, especially now than ever. For the stats, fire rate is fine for this weapon type, same thing with the magazine. The maximum ammo, the ammo from pickup is quite good. Reload speed is slow, but with this passage, just going to be faster. Accuracy is low, which is a massive shame, but you're not going to snipe with this weapon. You're going to be very close to enemies and hit like a truck. Trigger is semi-automatic. Punch through, 0. Riven disposition is average. If I recommend for the accuracy setup, I will say critical damage, critical chance, and maybe like fire rate or toxin damage or stash chance or something like that. I will say it's by far the best in slot. For the accuracy setup, critical chance is pretty solid. Crit multi is also solid. Stash chance is amazing, and the total damage is quite good. You have a bunch of elements. Not only that, when you shoot enemies, it also explodes in a 2-meter radius, has the exact same critical chance, crit multi, stash chance, does slightly less damage, but it helps a ton. So yeah, those are the stats, the passive, the mods, the arcane. Time for me to show you in game. So I'm going to spawn level 200 steel path for Kimber group dudes. Spawn them in. Wait for the butchers to come out. I'm going to headshot them, get the deadhead stacks. And as you can see, this thing just immediately hits like a truck. Millions of damage, 2 million right there. The damage this thing does is quite disgusting. You can also notice the accuracy on this weapon is not the greatest. 1 million, heavy gunner, 1.2 million. Like, this thing is quite disgusting. 3 million, 2.4 million. It's disgusting. You can see the accuracy is not the greatest. I just wish the accuracy was maybe better, but the way the weapon functions is like a shotgun, pistol shotgun, I guess, but not really. It doesn't have a lot of multi-shot, so it's quite weird that it has a not that great accuracy. But overall, that's the accuracy setup. Time for me to show you the multi-shot setup. So the multi-shot is slightly different, 3 mods difference, and that's I'm using Prime Heater Charge over Pistol Accuracy. I'm using Galvanized Diffusion over Magnetic Might, and I'm also using Lethal Torrent over Creeping Bullseye. So I lose a lot of critical chance, some damage, but I get a lot of heat damage, multi-shot, fire rate, and multi-shot. These are the mods, they're exactly the same. Galvanized Shot, Target Cracker, Viral Damage, Lost Dash Chance, and Galvanized Crosshair for a lot of critical chance while aiming. Same thing with the Exos Weapon Adapter Slot mods. It's going to be the Targeting Subsystem. Deadhead, same passive. Stats are slightly different. I lose critical chance and critical damage, but I get a lot of increased damage and also multi-shot. The fire rate is also much better, and the multi-shot is no longer locked, so I have 2.7, which is quite good. So yeah, these are the stats, the mods, the arcane. Time for me to show you yet again in game. No buffs, no armor strip. So, spawn level 200 steel path for Kimber dudes, yet again. Wait for the butchers to come out. I'm going to headshot them to get the deadhead stacks. The accuracy on this weapon is amazing. But yeah, you're going to see a bunch of colors. And it does hit like a truck. It's disgusting. Even with the multi-shot setup, the weapon is just disgusting. Has a lot of it has a lot of stat chance and base damage. You're going to proc so many status, especially heat on these enemies, and they're just going to disappear. But yeah, it's quite good. It's a really good secondary, I will say. It's a really powerful secondary, a lot of base damage. The fire rate is pretty solid. Like I said, the ammo economy is fine. The stats are amazing. Stat chance is amazing. It also has the AoE system. It's quite good, I'll say. So yeah, those are the Tenet Spirex builds. I hope you enjoy both of the builds. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.